and welcome to Joy News Interactive here on your DSTV channel 421 and go to channel 144 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We're Joy News on TV. We're also streaming to you live on YouTube. We are myjoyonline.com. My name is Mapisa Sibidi and I have an exciting show coming up, so stick and stay. You're still watching Joy News Interactive with me, Mapisa Sibidi. Now, the latest changes to messaging service WhatsApp as privacy policy is drawing fire from its loyal users. The company announced on January 6 it will force users to share information with Facebook if they want to keep using the service. Privacy advocates have questioned the move, citing Facebook's track record in handling user data. It has also prompted some people online, including Tesla founder Elon Musk, to call for users to leave the app and use more privacy-focused messaging services like Signal and Telegram. Our very own tech expert, Spike Kuma, has been explaining what this actually means.
Well, first of all, you've already been sharing this data that WhatsApp is taking your consent to share.
We've been sharing the data
for a long time on it. Winston, every single time you access the internet, your data is being collected. Every free service you're using, your data is being collected. You're on Facebook, your data is being collected. You're on Instagram, that data is being collected. And a lot of people do not read these terms and conditions or these privacy policies. And so they think when it comes out or when someone comes out to make noise about it, and people realize, not realizing that all this while you were using all those apps, Snapchat and whatever, you have been giving your data out.
Help us understand this. When you say we've been giving out data, what kind of data have we been giving out? So for instance, if I'm using WhatsApp,
yes.
The private chats that I have, am I giving that up also?
No. So your chats are end-to-end encrypted. Now, end-to-end encryption means that before you send that message out, it's encrypted, it's obfuscated, so WhatsApp cannot read it. Then when it gets to your destination, then it's unwrapped and then that person can read it. Prior to this, WhatsApp was not encrypting their messages, where someone could just be on the network with you, same network, and just be capturing your messages en route and then reading them because it was plain text. Now they encrypt it. So before it goes out, it's encrypted. Now, the data they are taking is actually data about you, the person, using the device, because advertising. But we'll get to that. They basically want to be able to build a profile around you to understand how you use their app so that they can get more information to tailor that app or to give to businesses, to sell that information to businesses. Oh, people use their phones a lot between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. A lot more Samsung users in Ghana, MTN users versus Vodafone users. You get what I'm saying? Like they're building a profile around the people because that's what they're taking. If you're looking at the information, they take your phone model, your OS, that's the operating system your phone is running, the battery status, the signal strength, time zone, IP address, how often you use WhatsApp, and for those who have WhatsApp Pay, your payments and transactions, your status updates, group details, profile pictures, and then your about info. So the information around you that's not encrypted, that's out there for anybody to see, they're taking that info too.
Oh, so in effect, it doesn't affect the messaging, but no. Every other thing about you, they're taking it.
Yes, because then they're building a profile about you. They are trying to get the demographics as you do on Facebook. You know, if you run a Facebook page, you know what I'm talking about. You can see the age group of people who visit your page. You can see, you know, the gender. You can see where they are coming from. If you ever bought a Facebook ad, you can see how you're able to target specifically the people that you want to send this information to. Now, this is the data that Facebook is collecting from WhatsApp so they can improve this targeting that they want.
But they'll be selling it.
Yes, they will be. I mean, you're using the platform for free. What were you expecting? You are the product, not them.
Oh, I'm not using it for free. I pay. My internet, it goes.
Yeah, you're paying for internet. That internet is not paying WhatsApp. So you might as well then ask your internet service provider to give you a messaging service. Then you know that you're paying for that, and then you're asking them not to use your data for anything. Then you're guaranteed. But if you're using any free service, I mean, bro, how do you expect them to make money? They have to use you too, you know?
Oh.
You use me, I use you. Man, no go vex.
So, in effect, we shouldn't worry because we're using the app and they're only collecting information from us, selling it to third parties.
Yeah, to make money.
But sure are we that this is just what they'll be taking from us?
Well,
because in the past, there's been concerns about what is shared and what cannot be shared. And people have come out to say the details were shared, that, they didn't want out there. So how sure are we that they wouldn't be taking more from us? Because you just said, in the past, they probably may have been taking it from us without us knowing.
They actually have, from 2016, all this data. Initially, they gave you an option to opt out. And a lot of people went into their WhatsApp settings, opt out. I don't want Facebook to use my data. Really? So anyone who came on to WhatsApp after 2016, they didn't have that option to opt out because some of them they didn't even know. So they joined in, they were giving their data. And, let me just give you a typical scenario where some of this data is being used. You're on the internet and then you search for brown shoes. Next thing you know, you're browsing through My Joy Online and you start to see adverts about brown shoes. You're seeing My Joy Online on the screen right now. You can see a washing machine, a fridge, a TV. Someone in here did this search and that's how come they're seeing this ad. So the browser is following you and your activity and then sharing those things we call cookies or the trackers. And they're giving it to all the other businesses. It's information exchange. And then they're using that to determine which relevant advertisements, which relevant stuff to show you. Because how would you feel if you went onto the internet and you're browsing and some unrelated ads, for sake of the conversation to be very, very vivid, imagine some male organ enhancements, something came on your screen. That'd be very embarrassing. You didn't go looking for that, but it's there, but yeah, that can also be a problem if someone actually searched that on your computer and you found those ads. So that's what happens with this data that they collect. They're trying to profile you, so your experience on the internet is tailored to you and it keeps you on.
Well, I hope that clears all the confusion about the new WhatsApp privacy policy. But let's come back to Ghana, because some students of the University of Ghana have expressed dissatisfaction with the measures put in place by management to prevent the spread of COVID-19 following the reopening of the school on Monday. Now, many students could be seen without their face masks as they went about their businesses while disregarding the other preventive protocols, such as social distancing. Now, Kweko Asante was on campus and came through with this report.
The University of Ghana reopened for this year's academic year on Monday, 11 January 2021, but with concerns about the lack of adherence to government's COVID-19 preventive protocols. The first day on the University of Ghana campus after reopening was an eyesore. Some students went about their manual registration without face coverings, with very little or no social distancing. Today, the story was a bit different. Most students were seen in their face coverings going through their residential and academic registration. Some students of the university are dissatisfied with the measures put in place by the school to limit the spread of the virus.
I wasn't really, happy with that particular initiative. Bringing students in a room where you realize that we have accommodation deficit. And I have always said that this accommodation deficit would only be solved only if you build hostels. And I think it's one of the most important things that the university management must take into consideration. You cannot accommodate 4 people in a room, whereby we are well aware that the COVID is still increasing. The cases are increasing. Today we have about 1,261 COVID cases, and you are keeping 4 students in a room.
The university seems not to have put measures in place to deal with issues of COVID-19. The basic one is the wearing of nose masks. So you realize that across the 4 facilities we are in right now, many people are not wearing their nose masks, but they are able to enter into the various halls. Primary among the COVID-19 protocols is the washing of hands before you enter any facility. You would expect that every other hall you get to, there are, Veronica buckets and so on for people to wash their hands. None of that is being done. You would expect that people's temperatures will be checked. None of that is being done. So I'm wondering whether the essence of the whole double track thing is to control COVID.
I would say that there's more room for improvement. I wouldn't say that we have put in place totally watertight mechanisms to prevent the spread of COVID. They are enforcing a no mask, no entry policy. There are taps here that people are supposed to, wash their hands with the water that is flowing from before they enter. I think for now, these are the mechanisms that have been put in place.
Meanwhile, Dean of Student Affairs at the University of Ghana, Professor Alufa Bobkin, says the university has put in place adequate measures to ensure adherence to COVID-19 preventive protocols and also to ensure that what happened on the first day of reopening does not happen again.
It was a bit I wouldn't say surprised, because the numbers that came yesterday was just too huge. And because it was the first mover advantage, it was difficult trying to tell them that you had selected a bed online, you were not going to lose it. So take your time, be in the line. Some also came with their parents and all of that. So that was a challenge. We observed that ourselves, and we apologize for what happened. Word had gone out to all the halls. In fact, yesterday on the hall masters and senior tutors platform, we discussed this, that look, what we observed yesterday from our point of view wasn't even the best for us and for our own safety and our staff and all of that. So, and I am happy to some extent today, because I'd gone around again this morning, and I'm happy to some extent what I'm observing, that at least we are learning from the errors of yesterday. And we are not at the peak of it, more or less, in terms of observing all the protocols, because I still see students walking around without the nose mask and all of that. But we have incorporated all of this in the orientation for all freshmen.
Professor Bob King also defended the decision to fully populate the halls of residence on campus.
We did so also in line with health advice, that in the annexes where it's a bit spacious and airy, it's okay to put 4 in a room.
And that's how we end Joy News Interactive here on the Joy News channel with me, Mapisa Sibidi. Enjoy the rest of your day.